Are you tired of being overlooked? Of watching people who are less qualified and less dedicated get promoted right past you? Are you tired of having your ideas taken, your kindness seen as a utility, and your hard work becoming the foundation for someone else's kingdom? I used to believe the world was a meritocracy. I thought if I was a good person, kept my head down, and did the work, I would be rewarded. I was wrong. I was agonizingly wrong. I learned that the world isn't a library where the quiet and studious are admired. It's an arena. And walking into an arena armed with a peace treaty while everyone else is carrying a sword is a losing strategy. This isn't a self-help guide full of empty affirmations. This is a cold, pragmatic, and brutally honest manual on power, inspired by the diplomat who wrote the playbook 500 years ago, Niccolo Machiavelli. This is not about becoming ruthless. It's about becoming effective. It's about survival. We're going to unlock 21 of his most potent tactics, reimagined for the modern world, so you can stop being the pawn and finally start being a player. Stay with us and learn how to win. Section 1. The foundation of power. Before we begin, you have to understand the core of Machiavellian thought. In his 16th century masterpiece, The Prince, Machiavelli presented a brutally honest view of human nature. He argued that, to be effective, a leader must see the world as it is, not as they wish it were. This means accepting that people are driven by self-interest, fear, and ambition. Power, therefore, is not about morality. It's about effectiveness. The 21 tactics you are about to learn are tools. They can be a shield to defend yourself or a sword to advance your position. How you wield them is your choice. But for anyone who wishes to command their own destiny, knowing they exist is not optional. Now, let's begin. Tactic 1. Let them underestimate you. The first law is to master the art of strategic invisibility. Let them underestimate you. Machiavelli understood that overt ambition is a mistake. It paints a target on your back. When you broadcast your strengths and goals, you alert rivals, you provoke envy, and you give your adversaries a clear map of your intentions. The truly powerful move like a submarine, silent, deep, and unseen, until the moment of impact. The psychology is rooted in the superiority bias. People instinctively lower their guard when they feel they are smarter or stronger than you. They become complacent. Their assumptions about your harmlessness make them predictable, while you remain a mystery. This is your advantage. In the modern corporate arena, this is the person who seems quiet in meetings, who doesn't boast, who appears content. Their colleagues dismiss them. Their boss overlooks them. But behind the scenes, they are networking, acquiring skills, and observing the power dynamics. They see the weaknesses exposed by the arrogance of others. When a major opportunity arises our project, no one wants they step forward. By the time their surprising success is revealed, it's too late for their rivals to stop them. They didn't see the threat until it had already won. Don't mistake this for being a pushover. This is about choosing your battles. It's about conserving your energy for the decisive moment. Let others exhaust themselves in the race for attention. Your race is for power, and it is a marathon, not a sprint. Appear less capable than you are. Then, when the time is right, act with decisive force. Their surprise will be the first casualty of your victory. Tactic 2. Control what they see. Hide what you do. The second law is a cornerstone of modern influence. Control what they see. Hide what you do. Machiavelli famously wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." In an age of social media, your public image is a battlefield. Perception is reality. Most people are desperately trying to project an authentic self. The strategist understands that authenticity is just another performance. The goal is not to be authentic, but to be effective. The principle is simple. People can only react to the information they have. Control the information, and you control their reactions. By carefully curating what you share, you build a narrative that serves your long-term goals. Your true intentions Your doubts, your moves, these remain in the shadows, where no one can attack them. Think of the modern CEO. In public, they speak of vision and teamwork. This is the mask. Behind the scenes, they are making ruthless decisions, laying off a division to please shareholders, or acquiring a competitor to eliminate a threat. They control the public perception of a benevolent leader while executing the private actions of in your own life. This means resisting the urge to be an open book. It doesn't build trust. It gives away your leverage. In negotiations, share only the data that strengthens your position. Let your words be as your actions are the dagger. This isn't about lying. It's about selective transparency. You are not obligated to give your adversaries the ammunition to use against you. Hide what you do, and you will always be 3 steps ahead. Let's delve deeper into the arsenal of a master strategist. Tactic number 3 is one of the most subtle forms of leverage. Weaponize the favor. It's a common mistake to believe that kindness is its own reward. A true Machiavellian thinker knows that kindness, when deployed strategically, creates a powerful sense of indebtedness. The principle isn't about giving generously. It's about giving strategically. Every favor you grant is a hook, a future obligation you can call upon when the moment is most advantageous. The psychology behind this is the law of reciprocity. Humans are hardwired to feel a deep discomfort when they owe someone. We feel a subconscious, almost urgent need to repay the favor, often in ways that far exceed the original gift. Think about it. Imagine an ambitious manager. Let's call her Sarah, who sees a talented junior analyst, Tom, struggling with a project. Instead of letting him fail, Sarah offers her expert guidance and, more importantly, ensures he gets the credit for the eventual success. On the surface, it's just mentorship, a kind gesture, but really, it's a strategic investment. Tom now feels a profound sense of loyalty. He's indebted to her. Months later, when Sarah needs an ally to back her in a contentious meeting, who do you think she can count on? Tom's desire to reciprocate becomes her hidden asset. He'll go to bat for her, no questions asked. To apply tease, you need to stop offering help indiscriminately. Think like a banker making a loan. Before granting a favor, assess the recipient. Are they in a position to be useful to you later? Do they have skills, connections, or influence you might need? When you do offer assistance, do it in a way that is memorable and significant to them. Then, and this is crucial, do not mention it again. Let the feeling of obligation fester in their mind. Let it grow. When the time comes to call in the debt, do it subtly. Frame your request as another opportunity for them to shine. They will be eager to help, not only to finally repay you, but also to prove they were worthy of your initial investment in them. Generosity is a currency. Spend it wisely. Now, for the 4th tactic, a masterclass in emotional manipulation. Build a mask of impenetrable strength, then let it fracture at a calculated moment. Power is often associated with a flawless, perfect exterior, but perfection is intimidating, not endearing. It actually creates suspicion. People don't trust what they can't relate to. A constant display of strength and perfection makes you a target. People want to see you fail. But the advanced strategist knows that a calculated display of vulnerability can be the most powerful weapon of all. The psychology here is twofold. First, by building a controlled persona of strength and competence, you establish your authority. People respect and follow you. Second, by revealing a carefully selected flaw at just the right moment, you disarm suspicion and manufacture trust. This isn't genuine, spontaneous vulnerability. It is staged. It's a performance. It makes people feel like they are seeing the real you, the person behind the mask, which makes them far more susceptible to your influence. Imagine a powerful leader known for their demanding nature and unwavering confidence. They are respected, but also feared and kept at a distance. One day, after the team achieves a major success, the leader shares a brief, personal story about a past failure, a business that went under, a project that crashed and burned, something that taught them a valuable lesson. For just a moment, the mask of perfection cracks. The team sees a human being, not just a boss. Their loyalty instantly deepens. It's no longer just professional, it becomes personal. That manufactured trust is an incredibly powerful tool. The leader can now ask for even greater sacrifices, longer hours, and more difficult tasks. And the team will comply not out of duty, but out of a newfound personal allegiance. To use this, you must first establish a reputation for control and composure. Be the person who is always put together, the one who never cracks under pressure. This is your mask. Then, at a moment of your choosing, perhaps, after a great victory or during a quiet, reflective team moment, reveal a small, calculated vulnerability. It must be a flaw that doesn't undermine your core competence. Admit to a past business failure that taught you a valuable lesson or a personal struggle you overcame. You control the narrative of your weakness. You let them see a crack, but it is a crack that you designed, and it serves to reinforce the very structure of your power. Finally, we arrive at the fifth power tactic, which is deceptive in its simplicity. Say less than necessary. In a world filled with constant noise, chatter, and opinions, silence is a statement. The more you talk, the more you risk saying something foolish, revealing your plans, or diminishing your own mystique. When you speak with brevity, your words carry more weight. People lean in, they listen more closely, they wonder what you are truly thinking, and they often project their own ideas and fears onto your silence. The psychology of silence is profound. It creates a vacuum that other people feel an overwhelming compulsion to fill. In a tense negotiation, the person who can endure the silence holds the power. The other party, feeling uncomfortable and anxious, will inevitably start talking. They'll offer concessions, reveal their weaknesses, and expose their anxieties, all without you having to ask. As Robert Greene famously wrote, when you are trying to impress people with words, the more you say, the more common you appear, and the less in control. Imagine a job candidate in a high-stakes interview. The interviewer asks a difficult, probing question. Instead of rushing to fill the space with a nervous, rambling answer, the candidate simply pauses. They take a breath. They hold eye contact. The interviewer, who is used to nervous chatter, becomes slightly unnerved. The candidate's silence projects immense confidence and thoughtfulness. When they finally do answer, their words seem more profound, more impactful. Who appears more powerful in that exchange? The one who filled the silence, or the one who commanded it? To put this into practice, train yourself to become comfortable with silence. In meetings, make it a point to listen more than you speak. When you are asked a question, don't feel obligated to give an immediate answer. A deliberate pause can make you seem more thoughtful and in control. In arguments, let the other person exhaust themselves with words. Their frantic energy will stand in stark contrast to your calm composure, making them appear emotional and weak while you appear rational and strong. Remember, silence is not emptiness. It is a space you create for your opponent to defeat themselves. Master these tactics, and you will see the world not as it appears, but as a chessboard where every move can be calculated for advantage. Be sure to subscribe for more strategies on mastering the game of power. Welcome back to our series, where we dissect the strategies of power. Today, we're diving deep into 3 potent tactics that master strategists use to gain the upper hand. Let's get right into tactic number 6. Blur the line between threat and ally. In the intricate dance of power, there are no permanent friends and no permanent enemies, only permanent interests. If you clearly signal your alliances, you become predictable. Your rivals know exactly who your friends are, which makes it easy for them to isolate you. The true master of strategy operates in the gray zone, keeping everyone guessing about their true intentions. What's the psychological impact of this ambiguity? It creates paralysis through uncertainty. When your adversaries aren't sure if you're a friend or a foe, They're afraid to make a move against you because they risk turning a potential ally into a confirmed enemy. This hesitation gives you incredible freedom to maneuver and act. Let's bring this into the real world, with an example from office politics. Imagine two factions are competing for control of a major project. You don't align with either one. Instead, you remain friendly with both leaders. You might share some useful, non-critical information with one, and then offer some practical assistance to the other. To bots see this, you look like a potential ally. Neither sees you as a direct threat. In this position, you become the power broker. While they're busy fighting each other, you're quietly consolidating your influence, building relationships, and gaining access to information from both camps. When the moment is right, you can throw your support behind the side that offers you the most benefit, or even emerge as the victor yourself after the original combatants have weakened each other. So, how do you put this into practice? Avoid taking strong public stances in conflicts that don't directly serve your long-term goals. Maintain cordial relationships with everyone, especially your competitors. Be a source of help for many, but a true confidant to none. Your unpredictability is your greatest strength. People will be so preoccupied with trying to figure you out that they won't have the clarity to move against you effectively. You stop being just a player on one side of the board. You become the hand that moves all the pieces. Now for our seventh tactic, which is the art of the subtle takeover. Make them feel safe before you take power. Human beings are creatures of habit. We naturally resist change, especially when it feels sudden or forced. A direct, frontal assault on a position of power will almost always be met with fierce resistance. The most effective power moves, therefore, are the ones that are not perceived as power moves at all. They are executed gradually, quietly, under the cloak of cooperation and helpfulness. The psychology behind this tactic leverages our deep-seated desire for stability and comfort. When people feel safe and secure, their defenses are down. They're not looking for threats. By lulling your target into a false sense of security, you can begin to dismantle their power from within, often without them even realizing what's happening until it's far too late. This is the classic friendly takeover. Picture a company with an aging, complacent CEO. A new, ambitious executive joins the team and quickly becomes the CEO's most loyal and supportive lieutenant. They praise the CEO publicly, defend their decisions, and go out of their way to make the CEO's life easier. The CEO feels safe, validated, and comfortable. They see the executive not as a rival, but as a protect. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, this executive is building alliances with other key players, gaining trust across departments, and quietly taking control of the company's most important functions. When the board eventually decides it's time for a change in leadership, who is the obvious, seamless successor? The ambitious executive. Their rise to power isn't seen as a hostile coup, but as a natural, logical transition. To apply this yourself, first identify the person whose power or position you wish to acquire. Don't attack them, serve them. Make yourself indispensable to them. Anticipate their needs and solve their problems before they even have to ask. Slowly, you can begin to absorb their responsibilities. Frame your growing ambition not as a threat, but as unwavering loyalty and an act of service. By the time they realize you hold all the cards, they will be too dependent on you to fight back effectively. Finally, we arrive at tactic number 8, a cold but incredibly effective demonstration of your value. Make people dependent on you, then strategically withdraw. Your value in any group or organization is not determined by what you do, but by how much you would be missed if you were gone. Constant availability, while it seems like a good thing, actually makes you common. If you are always there, always ready to help, people begin to take you for granted. Your efforts become expected, and therefore invisible. To remind them of your power and influence, you must master the art of the calculated absence. The psychology here is rooted in two powerful principles: scarcity and loss aversion. People instinctively value what is scarce and fear losing what they already have. By first making yourself indispensable and then temporarily removing yourself from the equation, you create a vacuum. This absence causes anxiety and friction, which powerfully highlights your true worth. Think of a skilled freelance consultant. For months, she integrates herself deeply into a company's operations, streamlining processes and solving complex problems. The company becomes completely reliant on her expertise. Then, citing a prior commitment or the need for a break, she withdraws her services for a short, strategic period. Suddenly, projects stall, deadlines are missed. Her absence creates a crisis that powerfully demonstrates her irreplaceable value. When she agrees to return now on her own terms, and for a higher fee, the company is not just willing, but desperate to have her back. She has successfully transformed her expertise from a simple commodity into a scarce and highly valued resource. To use this tactic, you must first become an expert. Become so good and so reliable at what you do that others build their workflows and routines around your presence. Once this dependency is firmly established, find a strategic reason to step back. Take a well-timed vacation, delegate a key task to a less competent subordinate for a short while. Let the team feel the pain and inefficiency of your absence. When you return, you will no longer be seen as just a colleague or a team member. You will be seen as a savior, and your value will be clearer than ever before. These tactics require patience, observation, and a deep understanding of human nature. Use them wisely. If you found this valuable, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more insights into the art of power. Welcome back to the arena. Today, we descend further into the shadows, exploring 3 more of Machiavelli's most formidable tactics. These are not for the faint of heart. They are the tools for those who understand that power is a game played in the minds of others. Let's begin. Tactic 9 is one of Machiavelli's darkest insights. Manufacture loyalty by making people betray others for you. Think about that. Trust that's built on shared values. It's fragile. It can break the moment those values shift. But loyalty that's born from shared guilt, from a shared transgression, that loyalty is unbreakable. When a person takes a risk, when they burn a bridge and betray a former ally to help you, they are psychologically chained to you. Their success is now completely tied to yours. To justify their betrayal to themselves, they have to believe, truly believe, that your cause is righteous. The psychological engine behind this is cognitive dissonance. It's a powerful force. If someone commits an act of betrayal for your benefit, their mind can't live with the contradiction. They can't see themselves as the villain. So, their brain rewrites the story. They convince themselves that your cause was just, that their betrayal was a necessary, even noble, act. This creates a powerful, almost fanatical loyalty. Imagine a political operative who leaks damaging information about their own party to a rival campaign. That operative can never go back. They are now completely dependent on the success of that rival. Their loyalty isn't a matter of choice anymore. It's a matter of survival. Now, applying this requires extreme caution. It's a high-stakes maneuver. It involves engineering situations where an individual must choose a side definitively. For example, during a tense corporate restructuring, you might share sensitive information with a colleague from a rival department, information that could save their job, but at the expense of their own team. If they use that information, they have chosen you. They have become your accomplice. Their loyalty is no longer to their old group, but to you, their new protector. This story resonated with you and you want to keep exploring the real mechanics of power, subscribe to the channel. We don't deal in comforting lies here. We deal in what works. To continue mastering these principles, consider reading the masterwork of modern strategy, Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power. Also, be sure to click the notification bell so you don't miss our next video, where we'll delve into the psychological tactics of resisting manipulation. Finally, Leave a comment below with a tactic that you've seen play out in your own life. Join the conversation with a community dedicated to the art of power.